Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Laura Train Mama. Today we're having a look at the first story contained within the Thomas and Friends magazine for June 2026. This story is called Toad and the Whale. Enjoy! It was a sunny day on Sodor. Toad, the brake van, sang a cheerful song as he and Oliver chugged along the coast. As they puffed past the beach, Toad stopped singing and gasped. "There's a whale!" he called to Oliver. "You should concentrate on being a really useful brake van instead of making jokes," chuckled Oliver, and he hurried on. "It's not a joke," sighed Toad. On their way back along the coast, Oliver screeched to a halt. "I don't believe it," he gasped. "There is a whale." "I'm sorry I doubted you, Toad." They raced off to get the Sodor search and rescue team. "The whale will have to wait until the tide comes in," said Oliver. "Then he can swim away." "Why don't they take him to Brenham Docks? The water is really deep there," suggested Toad. But Oliver still wouldn't listen to Toad. He wanted to get back to Knapford. Oliver and Toad watched as the team covered the whale up to protect it from the hot sun. Flynn and Belle sprayed water over the whale to keep it wet and cool. Then Toad met Thomas. "What's wrong?" asked Thomas. "The tide is so far out, I'm worried it won't return in time to save the whale," said Toad. Then he told Thomas about his idea to take the whale to Brenham Docks. "That's a brilliant plan," said Thomas. Thomas then quickly told Sir Topham Hatt. Thomas fetched Rocky and a flatbed truck for the whale to lie on. Everyone was proud to be part of Toad's plan. At the beach, Rocky slowly and carefully lowered the whale onto the flatbed. Toad sang softly to the whale to keep it calm. Oliver and Toad carried the whale to Brenham Docks, where Cranky gently lowered him into the deep water. "He's safe, thanks to you, Toad," said Thomas kindly. Toad smiled proudly. From that day on, whenever Toad chugged along by the sea, he remembered his friend. The end. That brings us to the end of the story, Toad and the Whale. But before we go, let's jump in now to that story quiz. Question 1. Which engine pulls Toad the brake van? Was it A, Oliver, or B, Rebecca? That's right, it was Oliver. Question 2. What sort of animal does Toad want to help? Was it A, a whale, or B, an elephant? If you guessed a whale, well done. That is the correct answer. Question 3. Who sprays the whale to keep it cool? Was it A, Diesel, or B, Flynn? That's right, it was Flynn. So if you guessed all of those correctly, great job. And that really does bring us to the end now. Join us again soon. We'll cover story number 2. See you there.